What's the worst piece of tech you've ever owned? It's a tie between every printer I've ever owned. Those dumb robotic toys that require a smartphone app to use that is never updated or the company goes under and now you have a hunk of plastic. HP printer. Just plain dystopian. Mandatory online account and internet connection to scan a paper when the printer is connected via a cable. Drives me mad. A smart toaster, it was smart enough to burn it. Printers, even the best printers I've ever had have only worked acceptably. Amazon Fire Kids. What a complete piece of unintuitive, non-customizable, terrible UI garbage that thing was. The original Furby. I wanted it so bad like every other kid the Christmas they came out. I tried to teach it phrases and everything. Anyways, it would wake me up in the middle of the night just talking in its own. I tried putting a blanket out it, putting in my closet, etc., but it wouldn't stop. I finally opened it up and took the batteries out and my parents were so mad that it was all such a waste. Printers. And that awful case management program that needed a network share to which all users had read-write access and which held all the private client information. And repeatedly crashed. Mainly printers, though. In 2015-16 I bought a heads-up display for my car. You place your phone on it with their app and it should give you metrics. Absolute waste of money. It was hard to see, had ads, slid around, couldn't see if you weren't sitting at the right angle. What a waste of money. X200B not me, but my mom bought EMP blockers for her and her husband's Versailles. I told her that they are snake oil, but she bought them anyway for the low price of 200 something each and she bought 3. I had an wire. And I paid actual money for it. This thread is hilarious. Printers no, SRSLY, printers okay, also this obscure game console printers actually, HP in general, but mostly their printers some weird Amazon shit FR, though, printers. In the 90s or noughties I bought an HP scanner. Once you connected it via USB, the scanner light was on, always. They finally released a software patch, which was a memory resident program that ran on your PC to keep the scanner light off. It was the most asinine thing I'd ever seen, and soured me on HP forever. BlackBerry Storm. It took weeks to get Madden 97 to work on our Windows 95 computer. I remember playing it once, then it never loaded up again. An Android tablet from the now defunct Borders bookstore. My fridge with a TV, the touch screen freezes when hot Samsung. I look back and think, why did I think having a TV on the fridge was smart? I just leave it off now. Does Windows ME count as tech? Volkswagen ID4 easily the most frustrating, unreliable, dangerous piece of tech software I've ever owned. Whoever designed their software should be banned from ever turning on a device with a microchip ETA. I've owned 9 VWs in the last 20 years. This will be our last one. The entire experience has been a nightmare. The entire system shuts down without warning. Nav freezes, calls drop, backup cam goes out, phones don't connect, and good luck using Android Auto. On a related note, anyone want to buy a 21 Pro S with 26k miles? 32GB HP laptops for my kids. Updating Windows was a frigging nightmare. External drive needed, would work about 1/6 times. I have a Canon printer. I hate it more than I thought possible. Nothing about it is intuitive. The drivers are impossible to download. The manuals and instructions seem to have been written by AI in another language and then translated into English, also by AI but not the same AI. And sometimes it just changes its own IP address for squeals and gigs and then it's a treasure hunt to figure it out. It won't scan to my Mac, so I've resigned myself to the fact I must always scan to a USB as an intermediate step. I'd go Office Space on it with a bat but I don't have a bat. Nintendo Power Glove. Image. People mocked me because I answered calls with a freaking tucko in my ear. Also a shitty portrait screen that hindered games. Every HP device I've ever owned has been the worst device I've ever owned. The entertainment system in my 2022 Civic. The worst, most buggy, glitchy, garbage Android Auto experience I have ever had. Constant disconnections, stuttering audio, occasional refusal to pair, told me my phone was incompatible despite it having just been paired, maps glitching out constantly. All on a brand new Pixel 2. Kindle Fire. Very slow regardless of Wi-Fi connection. Wi-Fi extenders. A Chinese Windows tablet. After a year it became really slow and then the battery on it just died, not letting me turn it on. Fitbits. I've had two. They never track properly, never connected to my phone properly. Google Pixel, never charge properly. Just an overly expensive piece of plastic. Will never buy a smartwatch or fitness watch again. Samsung Smart TV is absolute garbage. A Dell PC. I bought it with a repair contract that promised to replace it in case of a problem. Instead, the tech support guy tried to get me to take it apart and diagnose the hardware problem. I told him to fuck off and they never got me a replacement. I will never, ever buy a Dell product ever again. Google Glass. 1500 just to be abandoned shortly after. A distortion pedal for my guitar called the Fender Blender. It was the very first pedal I ever owned. When engaged it picked up a local AM radio station better than the radio in my mom's car. Plus it sounded shitty. Microsoft Surface. I've owned two, because apparently that's how many times I need to be burned before I learn my lesson. I owned them for a combined total of 4 years, and was forced to replace the keyboard around once per year. The first one the hinge snapped internally and cracked the screen from the inside, the second one the screen just flat out died for no reason. The things were riddled with software issues, especially the earlier model. In the end I replaced them with a similar style Huawei tablet and it's been perfect for 2 years so far. Anything HP. Their products suck, laptops, desktop, and especially printers. I'm lucky the HP monitors I bought are still going great. I'll one-up you with SharePoint Online. All the features of SharePoint on-prem with little to none administration ability. Woohoo SRSLY, I am a SharePoint administration. A SharePoint farm with no admin is a savage dog with no leash or muzzle. 2016 Volvo XC90. Safest car available because it's in the shop a majority of the time. NFTs. Luckily I didn't purchase it as it was handed out as a promotion. But seriously, how fucking stupid. Virtual Boy. Why, let's line these fuckers up. Java WatchGuard GUI with the manager closely following. Dell app Assure SHIT slow, buggy as fuck GUI, and constantly has issues. Semantic backup X you fucking piece of shit. Adobe Reader. Hi, let's annoy by users with updates. Motherfucking printers. All of them. Fuck them. HP printer and scanner. LG Voyager VX 10000. It was advertised as an iPhone killer. Then they started calling it a feature phone. The thing was garbage. Sure, texting and gaming on it was nice. But the internet app was just about useless and there were hardly any apps for it at all. A Roku remote control. The TVs are cheap so they make up the revenue by selling piece of shit remotes. I've gone through like 6 of them. One of them was broken out of the box. Poor little remote barely even got to see the dim light of my living room before I chucked it. And the TV's home dashboard has ads and lies to you about being able to turn them off. A Wi-Fi crockpot. It works like a regular crockpot, but in 8 years of ownership, I have never been able to get it